I was at a networking event the other day that was not a good fit for me at all. And this happens sometimes. If you network a lot, this is going to happen to you a fair amount. But it's not a lost cause. So today I'm going to look at a few examples of what it looks like when you're at a networking event that is not a good fit for you, but more importantly, what you can do about it so that you can make lemonade out of those lemons. So this first story happened about a year ago. I hadn't been networking that long, and it was an event that on paper I thought was going to be perfect for me. Well, I got there and it turned out it was being sponsored by a specific company, and they had basically invited most of their clients who they worked with. And so it was, even though it was publicly posted, it was not meant to be publicly attended. So I would spend about 10 or 15 minutes doing my usual song and dance, listening to folks, asking good questions, and I wasn't getting anywhere. And it wasn't until someone finally said, well, actually, this is the purpose of this event. And I was like, oh, that explains a lot. And I felt terrible. Like I had somehow violated something, even though wasn't aware of what I violated. So I went home feeling terrible but undaunted. And the next morning, there was an event at 8 a.m., and I was there. And it went pretty well. I made a couple of really good connections, one of whom is still a really good friend today. So, what's the lesson from this first story? Resilience. Sometimes the only thing you can do is not let the bad experience affect you going forward. This next story is really interesting. You know how like you go to a networking event and it feels like everyone knows everybody, but then after a few minutes you realize, no, that's not true. It's all in your head. Well, this one, everybody knew everybody. And I was literally the only person nobody knew. And it turned out that this event was really just meant for friends to catch up. And you could tell because when they went around the room and gave their pitches, these were super rehearsed, practiced in a mirror 1,000 times. 1 minute, bang, bang, bang. This is who I am. This is what I do. And just impenetrable, right? Like there was nothing there that was going to incite anyone to do business with them that wasn't already doing it. It was all very performative. So after hearing most of the folks in the room go with what they thought was what they should be doing, and who am I to say? Like I was the intruder here, but there was nothing for me to latch onto. There was because I teach folks that your pitch should be malleable and conform to whatever situation you find yourselves in. And these people were giving me nothing, so I instead, when I was given the microphone, said, "Hi, I'm Paul Trent, coach, speaker, trainer, content creator. And I often find the shorter pitch is the more effective pitch." And I handed the microphone to someone else. And I wish I could tell you afterwards, someone came up to me and said, "Oh my God, your pitch was amazing. I'd love to talk to you." But that didn't happen. But what did happen, a few weeks later, someone came up to me at another event and said, "Hey, we met at this event. And I thought what you did was really interesting. So let's talk." So, and not to say I was in the right. I mean, these people were doing this event for them, and hopefully they were getting out of whatever it was that they were looking to get out of. It is not me to judge. All I'm saying is for me, it was not a good event. But what I did was not let that affect me and still was my genuine self. And even in that moment, nothing happened. A few weeks later, I made a connection just based on being myself consistently. And then finally, the story that spurred this whole video. I'm hesitant to give details because I feel like if I give full details as far as why this event was not for me, it might be identifiable, which is the last thing I want to do. But let's just say there was a lot of rules. There was a lot of rules as far as how people there should be conducting themselves, and a lot of rules as far as who should be speaking, when, how, all of these things. And I choke on rules as a general rule that I don't choke on. So the air was pretty thin for me. But again, like with the other events, I'm like, okay, I am a visitor here. what can I learn? So I went from making lots of connections mode to what are these people trying to accomplish and why do they have these rules? I won't say I had some grand revelation, but I was seeing some micro successes based on how they were comporting themselves, right? I was seeing like, okay, this works for people and this is how this works for people. That is cool, right? Because like there's not enough of that in this life, right? Of like feeling like you belong, feeling like you're giving to something that's giving back. So that was the lesson I had. Now, the facilitator of this actually reached out to me afterwards and was like, thank you so much for coming. What did you think? And so I very respectfully told them how I felt about the rules, that I saw the benefits of how they were doing things, but it was not for me at all. And then I wouldn't be returning, but I was hoping that, me and this person could be connections on LinkedIn and hopefully learn from each other. And they agreed. And so now we're connected on LinkedIn and I'm looking forward to what I can learn from them. And maybe, who knows, maybe I will go back. I saw the value in it, but it's just not something that I value necessarily over other things. Moral of the story: if you find yourself in a networking event and it's not for you, for whatever reason, one, be resilient. If it turns bad, do not let the one bad experience turn into something else, something worse that keeps you from networking. Two, continue to be yourself. Do not go with the flow. Don't be disruptive, but still be genuine because you never know what good could come of that. And three, still try to make connections. I mean, because the people there go along with whatever it is that you find isn't a good environment for you, it doesn't mean that there isn't some connection that can be made there. So I hope you got something out of this video. If so, I would love a like. It helps me out a lot as I could try to grow this channel. But thank you so much for watching, and we will talk again soon.